Yeah. So today we'll be seeing how to install this VMware workstation, and yeah, mostly we'll be seeing that. Since I already have a VM, still I will uninstall this and I'll be showing you guys. Okay, so okay, instead of this, one sec. Let me try one thing. Instead, let me try to initiate a Windows machine. Just a sec. And always don't install in your C partition. Okay, so I would highly recommend that. If you have only the partition like C, then no issues. But like if you have another one more partition of your hard disk or SSD, please try to use that. Okay, so screen. Okay. Yes, Ellen, the session begin just now. So screen is not clear. Okay. Like you like you can see my screen, right? Is the same issue for everyone? Like okay. So let me create a new folder, because if I uninstall VMware, it will again ask me to install again. So that is the reason. Sorry, again ask me to reboot the machine. So I'm just keeping it default for everything. So I'll be showing you guys how to do this as well, but just a sec. So what I'm doing here is like I'm installing a Windows 11 machine, basically. Even though it says Windows 10 and later, it is Windows 11. In the meantime, try to. Can use in VirtualBox for a while. Yeah, actually, you can use VirtualBox, but I won't recommend using VirtualBox because not sure it would be only for me, but yeah, it had some network issues. Like if you use NAT, okay, so it would be having some network issues. So not sure it would be the same for your case, but yeah. Just a sec, I'm trying to. Create a VM. Okay, so I'm trying for the GCP one. So no problem. So this is for the people who don't get how to install VMware. So yeah. It is a custom one actually. So just hold it just a sec. Yeah. In the meantime, so this is the link for GCP. Okay, so if you go to this console, or you can just go to cloud.google.com. So if you go here, okay, so you can see this message, right? Get $300 in free credits and free usage of 20 plus products. So which also includes the VM instance. Okay. So mainly we will be we would be using only this compute engine inside that VM instance. Okay. So yeah, this $300 is more than enough for that. Basically.
Sorry, excuse me, sorry, I joined late. We
Yeah.
have to install that VM
Yeah.
VM workstation.
Yeah, you
workstation.
must, you must install that. If it is like let's say you're working in your enterprise laptop or you don't have a personal one, so this is the other way, like you can practice using GCP.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have my personal one, so I can directly install in there. The VMware
yeah, of course.
Pro, VMware Pro, right?
Yeah, VMware Workstation Pro.
Pro.
It is.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, again, anyone, if you want to unmute yourself, like just let me know. Okay, so I will ask you to unmute if you have any doubts, because I'm going a bit slow. Why? Because send link for VMware. Okay, fine. Not only VMware, most of the resource which is needed for this course would be here. The PPT as well as the question paper, and this is the VMware workstation file. Okay, so you can find this file name like VMware Workstation Pro. So this is the one you must download and install. So I'll be showing you how to install that and initiator or install ISO like a RHEL 8. Okay, I already installed VMware Workstation. So for the people who don't know, yeah.
Hello. Where do we get the key for the Red Hat?
Red Hat key. Okay, so there is no key needed like for Red Hat, basically. Yeah, so it is kind of like it is a subscription based model. Okay, so you can subscribe, but that is not needed for our course, basically.
Okay.
So
All right.
no need, like it is a free one as of, yeah, no problem. So how to set up? Yeah, Salim, I'll be showing you. Okay, just yeah. Actually, I can uninstall and reinstall, but that would take a lot of time. Instead, I would install a VM and yeah. So what is virtualization? I will be quickly going through. Okay, so virtualization is, as you can see here, I am having a OS on top of OS. So this is my base OS, right? So this is my system. And yeah, I am having, second, let me give an info of that. So this is my CPU and my memory around 8 gigs. Okay, so this is my base system. Okay, so how virtualization works is, right, so this VMware works. Let me open Paint so that you guys would easily understand that. So this is my base OS. Okay. So inside that, the first layer would be my OS or the Windows 11, which I currently use. So that is my base OS. And the next one would be right. So this is a quick note of like how virtualization works. Okay. So on top of that, we are having VMware workstation as of now. So in your enterprise level, you will have VMware vSphere. Okay, so both are owned by VMware. So what is VMware doing basically is like they're having their own tool, like this is their application, right? So what this does is it is doing a thing called as resource sharing. Okay, so it is called as resource sharing. So what that basically does is, so instead of installing multiple, like there is a term called as dual boot, right? So dual boot, and even we can have triple boot as well. So instead of installing everything and booting to each of them while you boot, right? So we'll be seeing booting procedure later, but for a side note here, like instead of booting to one by one, that is a hassle, right? And you must have a dedicated RAM. Some RAM might not be compatible with some of the operating systems, right? So in that case, that is the place where VMware makes sense. So, and VMware is kind of a go-to as of now. And yeah, it is kind of the initial version of containers, you can say. So previously VMware was the only way, like virtualization. Now the containers would take it, right? So yeah, VMware is a hypervisor, exactly. So Microsoft is owning that hypervisor. So VMware is a proprietary, like they're separate third-party company. So yeah, so it will be sharing the resources from our base system. So my system's resource, right? So it will be shared among this VMware. Okay, so in this tool, we can install a thing called as ISO. Okay, so ISO is nothing but your operating system. So you can initiate and you can even clone it. Okay, so I'm not sure why it is not showing the tools, but yeah, you can clone each of it. Try. You can clone and you can add a resource on the fly and you can remove that. You can add a disk, anything you can do in virtualization, which is kind of a hassle in your personal machine. Let's say you're not having a CD drive in your base OS, still you can have a CD drive virtually. So all the things, it will be in virtually. Okay, so yeah, that is how it works. So on top of that, we are, as of now, we are installing again Windows 11, but this is a virtual one. Okay, so that is again a drawback as of now in our IT industry. So what, like towards the container, so you might have heard the term called as containerization, right? So what is containerization? It is like, so this is the difference between both. So VM will share the resources, right? So what containers does is, if you install, share. Yeah, Vijay, actually you can use like, okay, so that is a fair point. But if everyone uses, right, so that would be a lot of like, we can't. Okay, you want me to share that only the IP, right? So
yeah, we don't have any free trial like that in GCP.
no, actually, so this is the free trial for any account. Buddy, who is speaking? Okay, Vijay, right? So Vijay Bhaskar.
Yes.
So it is a free for everyone. So if you just go to this link, okay, so I hope you might have never like, even you can create a number of like Gmail account, right? So yeah, you can use AWS anything, but I prefer GCP because GCP is the only free tier which allows 4 gigs of RAM. So which is a lot for a Red Hat, but yeah, so that is the only free tier which allows 4 gigs of RAM. So yeah, that is the reason I personally use GCP only for Linux VMs. Okay, so yeah. So okay, where were we? Like, let me come back to this container concept. So this is the basic difference between VMware and container. Okay, so while it install, let me explain just a sec. Let me see the progress. Okay, it is installed. So in container, it stays the same. Okay, so the base OS is the same, but after that is the same Windows 11. But after that, you won't have a dedicated software or a application. Okay, so instead you will be having a container engine. So there is a concept called as container engine. Okay, so what that does is, instead of installing a software, instead of using the proprietary extensions like VMDK for VM disk, right? So there are so many like how a VM works, right? So the architecture of it. So instead of doing all that, the container engine would take care of everything. Okay, and it even incur less resource from your base OS. Okay, so yeah, that is how. Yeah. Okay, what next? Yeah, Ashmita, I will come to your question. So yeah, we will have container engine. So okay, so above that we will be having a thing called as containers, basically. So what a container is, let's say you're having a container for you might have heard a term called as Docker, right? It is not a buzzword anymore. Most of the companies uses that. So what is Docker is kind of a container. Even in Red Hat has their own container called as Podman. Okay, so here it is, the required binaries. Okay, so binaries and kernels for that application. Let's say it is a HTTP server. Okay, so whatever binaries only required for this HTTP server to be running, right? That is the only thing needed for that application to be running, right? So this is the app 1. So like that, if you are having app 2 and app 3, so it will use very less resource. It follows the same methodology only, like VMware, but containers is kind of a different way, like how it approaches how the application starts and how it is functioning. It is different, but kind of the resource would be less utilized, because here you would be using a whole OS, right? Again, you need to install, since you can see right away, I'm installing a whole OS as of now, Windows 11. Again, from here, I need to install, or I can do anything from here, right? But that is not the case in this one. I can right away pull this container from online or from the official site, or I can even have my own image, and right away I can use this. So this would be incurring the size of around let's say 500 MB. So this should be around, just now we installed, right? So 60 gigs we need to run the machine. So yeah, that is the difference between container and VM. Okay. How to deactivate GCP account? Okay, so many questions regarding cloud, right? So yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the container can only have one OS, right?
Yeah. So container is on base OS only. So
only, okay.
yeah, so it doesn't have this layer itself. So we don't need to install another OS in order to use these containers. the base OS resources will be shared. So yeah. Just a sec. Let me go to- It's not allowing me to even click. 1 sec. Why? Oh, okay. So just a sec. Let me again download. So what will be the license key for what, Ashmita? Felix, actually, how to install using Kickstart via. Okay. So Anaconda, that configuration anyhow will be installing RHEL only, Felix. So Kickstarter installation we are not doing. Okay, so standard installation only we are doing. Okay, just not.
Sorry, one question. Why we need Windows 10 in there?
Okay, so actually Windows 10, it is not needed as of now. So I am trying to install for the people who don't know how to install VMware workstation, right? For them, it is, I'm trying to show you how this process works, right? VMware workstation installation.
Okay.
So
Your base is OS is Windows 11, right?
yeah, Windows 11. Yeah. So even this is a Windows 11 basically. So yeah.
No, I mean, if we just add Red Hat Enterprise Linux, that is more than enough, right?
Yeah, it is more than enough. Yeah. So I'm already installed it. So just a sec, let me show you the. I'm not sure why this settings is not opening, but fine. So anyhow, I'll be sharing you that steps. Okay. So let me go grab the steps now, as of now. So there's. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Actually, if you are facing any issues while installing VMware Workstation, let me know, because tomorrow I'll be showing you that. Okay, so today, as of now, I'll be showing you how to install RHEL and start up your system. Okay, so first create a new virtual machine.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Just a point. The document you just shared now. Where are you going to put that? Where can we find it?
Okay, so I'll be sharing that document in this resource file. It is already there in day 2. Okay,
Where?
just
Where? Is it going to be in the WhatsApp group or where? I don't know.
It will be in the this Google Drive, right? So it is a yeah, public link actually. Even now you can access that those steps.
Okay, in the Google Drive. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
Google
you.
Drive. Yeah. So when I share my screen in Zoom, it is not. Okay, sorry, just a second. So I'll be uploading those steps now. Okay. So all those steps would be here actually. So let me open the VMware Workstation installation. Okay. So this is how we'll be installing. So it is very straight explanatory, but if you're having any issues while installing, let me know. And this is the key basically. Okay. So while installing, you can give this key, or even after you finish, you can enter the license key. So that it would be the pro version. Okay. So if it is not a pro one, it would be around 60 days evaluation time. Okay, so yeah, okay, that is a fair question. So VMware Workstation, if you don't have, let's say you're working in a enterprise laptop or any restriction in your laptop, you can use GCP or any one of the cloud. So I'll be showing you the cloud one tomorrow. Okay, so don't worry on that. But yeah, you can use cloud. But the first thing is the questions, right? So the first question and all, you cannot work in the cloud. So not first one. So the yum repo would be already configured in the cloud. Okay, so this question you can't do in your cloud basically. And yeah, so that one, as well as the breaking the root password. So this one we'll be seeing tomorrow, right? So yeah, so this one you can't do in your cloud basically, because there is no console, right? So cloud is the console. So you can't go the upper layer. So this is the VMware console. Okay. So here we can access the all the like parameters, but you can't in the cloud, right? So yeah, that is the issue. Okay, now it comes. Great. At least if I try to show you that VMware installation, then it would be great. But it is not allowed. But no problem. Let's not waste any more time. So this is how, after installing your VMware workstation, just create a new virtual machine. So I'll explain this all the steps quickly. Okay. So don't give typical. Okay. So anyhow you can, but yeah, we need to select all these parameters. Okay. So just click custom. And this one you did not worry. So this is the basic hardware compatibility. So this is the one here. So this is the kind of profile you can say. So there will be a lot of versions, the previous versions. Okay. So we will be using the latest one. So if you use an old one, let's say workstation 5, your RHEL 8 might not work in that. So that is the reason I shared you guys the latest workstation 16.2. So that is also one of the reasons. So next thing is you just redirect to your ISO image. Where do you store them? So let me quickly grab it, softwares. Yeah. So I have it here, RHEL 8.4. Okay. So next, you can give any name. So let me give just a typical one, user one, and password is 1234. And many, so if you see here, so many you would miss this one. So this password here itself, you got an information tab, like this password is for both the first user and the root. Okay, so for root also you can use the same password 1234. And now we can change this VM name to RHEL 8. You can give, and please try to install in your other partition. Why? Because let's say your C drive is filled, or most people would have their C drive filled. Okay, so and this would like again incur your size, right? Around 20 to 30 gigs it will be used. So in my case, it is fine for me, but still I'll be using a dedicated disk only for VM. So, if you don't have any other partitions, of course you can use C, no other way. But if you have, please do use the other partition. Okay. So here you can create a new folder, Logic Labs. Okay, so let me click that. Next. So this and all you can keep it in default one. So this is this section is for the number of processors. So what is a CPU? Like in my case, I have 8-core CPU. Okay, so I'm using only 1 core, which is more than enough for a or the minimum requirement for a rail machine to be working fine. Okay, so the next thing is your memory. So again, I have around 8 gigs. So I'm sharing 2 gigs for that. Okay. Next. So this one is like, what is the network connection? So this is a very important one. Most people will be use bridged network. So that would be fine. You can use that, no issues in that. But still, NAT is kind of like you can communicate. Let's say you are having 2 servers, master and a slave server. You can use NAT. Okay, so I personally use NAT. Okay, so network address translation. So this option, second one. So this is the section where in which VMware, not VMware, VirtualBox, right? So it kind of misses this one. So sometimes it won't initialize the network adapter. I personally faced a lot of issues with the VirtualBox. So that is the reason. So the next one is, this is the default one. So you can keep this as a default and you can. So it is a which IO controller type it is asking for. So this also you can keep it as a default one. So what is like, what is your disk type you need? So NVMe you can give. Anyhow, it depends on your disk speed, right? So this is just a type which is need to be initialized for that particular virtual disk, but still based on your disk speed only it will be running, right? So don't worry about this option. So you can give NVMe only, or you can use SATA, no issues. So you must create a new virtual disk since you don't have a previous one. And you can give the basic 20 gigs. Okay, so also you need to give this option, or you can even give this one, no issues. So what is the difference between these two is, in one of the interview they asked me, okay, what is the difference? Is like, if you split virtual disk into multiple files. So let's say if you created this now, right away it won't create a 20 gig file or that VMDK file. Okay, what should be said? Yeah, so VMDK file. So instead it will create a 8 MB of that file, and let's say you're installing the any one of the like Chrome in your a VM. Okay, or any, like, as you use the VM, that whole 20 gigs is your cap. Okay, so let me try it and show you. So this is your disk. So first thing is, it will be using the bare minimum one, around MBs only it will be there, like 16 or 20 MB. Okay, so while you use the VM, it will be gradually increasing the size. Whereas if you give it as a single disk, the whole disk will be created 20 gigs. Okay, so yeah, not able to hear you. Is it the same for everyone? Let me pause this one. Okay. Yeah, can you kindly check Ashraf? Okay. So yeah. Okay. Not sure why there is a lot of issue with this VMware. No problem. I'll try to fix it.
How to find that image disk file?
This one, or which one you are asking?
where it was stored in.
Yeah, okay, so just a sec. You need to download it in your machine. Who is speaking? Ashraf, right? So
Salim.
Salim. Okay. So yeah, Salim. So you need to download this file, this ISO, right? So you need to
Oh.
download this one, and this path is that actual file.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need. Yeah. So that is the OS actually. So RHEL 8. It can be any version, no issues, but it should not be less than 8. So 7 and all, it is fine. Still, you can use, but still 8 is the bare minimum as of now. So we can give again the name. So install it in this one. Not sure why the previous time it was not working. Here also. Because anyhow it didn't create it, right? So the same options again. So here, like, yeah. So if you click this also, no issues, but I personally use this one into multiple files. So this is again, you need to, so what I did is click browse, because by default it will be selecting the again C partition. It might be in your case. So click that, and wherever you want you can store, but I need to keep everything in one disk. So let me do that. Logic Labs, right? So disks. I will keep it here. Right. Let me power it on. And can't download your files. Okay, so in that case, you can. I hope most of the enterprise laptops will allow cloud, right? It's like cloud in the sense AWS, GCP, Azure, any one of the cloud service provider. If it is allowing, then you can use that, Prabhakar. Okay, so I'll be showing you that today if time permits, or tomorrow we can do that. Okay, so it is initializing the installation. I'm not sure why it didn't download me this one. Yeah, so that is the one, Salim. ISO images 9.4 gigs. No, Mohan, actually. So you can't use CentOS because CentOS is, as of now, it is obsolete. Obsolete in the sense it is discontinued. Okay, so try to use RHEL if possible, because RHEL is, as of now, it is free. Okay, so there is no like you need not pay anything for RHEL. So yeah. So there is an issue with my billing actually. So I will try to fix this one, and I will be showing you guys tomorrow how to initialize the same VM, but in your GCP. Okay. So you can use anything actually, like GCP or Azure or AWS. I will try to show in Azure as well as GCP. Okay. So yeah.
Sorry, sir. Where are you doing it now? Are you doing it on your laptop, or you're doing it in on the cloud?
So mostly I will be teaching you from my laptop. Okay.
So basically, you're virtualizing your laptop with VMware and you load Linux on it. Is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, Patrick.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what you are saying, we can also do that in the cloud, either Azure or AWS.
Yeah, you can do the same thing in the cloud, except you can't attend or practice some of the, like 2 to 3 questions as per the exam point of view. You can't reset a root password. Like you can't break a root password basically in your cloud. Okay, so you don't have that privilege in that. Okay, and you
Okay.
can't configure your YAML. So I will be showing you how YAML configuration works for sure. But yeah, some of the constraints are there if you're using cloud. But fine, anyhow, you would have my recordings, right? You can go through that if you're attending the exam right away after my sessions. So
Okay.
yeah.
How many sessions are we going to have after these tester sessions? How many in total?
Okay, so that is a fair question. So it would be around 16 to 17 sessions. It would be every session would be around nearly one hour. So yeah.
Okay. Are you going to give us some like brain dumps so that we can take the exams immediately after or something? Or no?
Of course. Immediately after my sessions, you can right away. If you practice, you can. Yeah, if you're practicing daily along with me, of course you can attend the exam right away.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Thank
we will
you.
be seeing extensively about mostly exam point of view, as well as we'll be seeing on a day-to-day basis what a Linux admin would be doing, right? So yeah, we'll be doing
Yeah.
that.
How do we? Sorry, sir. Sorry to
Yeah.
ask another question. How do I
No
have
problem.
access? How do I get access to the recordings, please? Recording. for this.
Okay, so recordings will be shared in this like Logic Labs has their own site. Okay, so Class Plus app, so it is called as.
Do we go to Logic Lab Tech websites from there?
Yeah. So once you pay for the sessions, right, so you will be greeted with this site, or you will be provided this like you must go to this site in order to access these recordings. It won't be shared in a Google Drive like this resource file. So it will be shared in their own proprietary web portal or
Okay.
through
Okay.
yeah. So I guess you guys might have received that. 1 second, even let me check that. I'm just pausing my screen for a sec. Even let me check the WhatsApp so that whether they posted that. So if you see here, already the payment link is provided, and this is the app which I was talking about. Okay, so Patrick, so yeah, if you go to this web portal after you paid, right away they might have provide you the credentials, or yeah, if you're using like Mac OS or iOS, you can use this link. If you're an Android user, you can use this. And if you want to just access through web portal, of course, you can go to their site.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if that's been shared. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that has been shared.
It's in the WhatsApp link.
They share it in WhatsApp group. I saw it this morning.
Yeah.
It's
Good morning.
it's in the WhatsApp.
Okay. That means late. Okay, because as of 2 or 3 days ago, there was nothing like that there. Okay. I'll
Yeah,
go check it.
Patrick, where are you in USA?
No, I'm in the UK, Kent.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, there will be a PayPal link also will be shared for your convenience. So I will ask them again so that they would share the PayPal link. Okay. So
Is
thank
this
you very
still going to be the link, the Zoom link that we'll be using? I mean, I made my payment this morning.
Okay, so the Zoom link would be changed, Baba. Okay, so after you pay,
Okay.
yeah, so the Zoom link will be changed only for the
How do
people
I
who
get it? I
paid.
made my payment this morning. Is it gonna come to my email or?
Yeah, of course, it will be coming to your mail for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Alright.
mail which you use for login and the one you used for payment, right? You will be
Mhm.
receiving the email to that. Like your invite would be forwarded to
thank
that.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a question. Good morning. Thank you for all you
Yeah.
guys are doing. Yesterday for the AWS, was it the same? Are you the same person? I think it was Mr.
No,
Salam.
actually, no. AWS is a different
It's
training.
different person, but we guys have the same accent. I thought that was you. The question that I was having for AWS, it was like, how long does a student need for you guys at least to take courses with you guys, at least to prepare for a job like entry level?
Entry level. Okay, so
Entry level, yeah.
okay, so that is a fair question. So like if you're, let's say, like you're already an experienced person, or how would it be? Like you already have an IT experience, or you're totally new to IT? So it depends on that, right? So if you're like new to the IT, of course, the Linux is a very good starting point, right? So you can start learning the basics of Linux. So that is what we will be doing the course extensively. Okay, so yeah, so after that you can move forward with like let's say it depends on your approach. So if you want to go as a cloud admin, you can go to that. So the base is a Linux for any role, like a DevOps, cloud, or a platform engineer. So there is a new role as platform engineer, as well as SRE, like a site reliability engineer. So there is a lot of openings for our lot of options for you, but the base would be the Linux. So that is what like.
So that's what I'm saying. How long Linux do you have to listen to the class, and then before you switch to the maybe AWS like a specification?
Okay, so
or
okay, so it depends on your learning
capacity.
yeah. If you're a fast learner, of course, and if you're like yeah, so it depends on your capacity, but still a fair time would be around 1 to 2 months would be more than enough for to become an intermediate in Linux. Okay, so if you follow every day what I'm doing in my sessions, right, that would be more than enough actually.
Yeah, it's just like this morning I didn't see the link on time on my email, and I came like 10 minutes before after, so I couldn't install what you were installing, so I kind of lost. So that's how I was go back to the record.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just installing the operating system, okay, which is needed for our sessions. So again, if you have a personal laptop, you can also follow the my route, like installing a VMware workstation and installing a ISO on top of that. So this is the one way. The other way would be the cloud one. So I'll be showing you tomorrow on that. So don't worry on that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Vijaya, like mostly even 2 weeks back, one of my friend attended the exams with the same question, like mostly same questions came. The pattern would be the same, okay? So if you see here, everything would be covered. Let's say, let me quickly give a glance to you, okay? So this is a user management question. This is a process one. So whatever we are seeing, right? So the topics as well as the questions will be seen. Okay, so this would be a process management question. Again, process. So this is a user management one, ACL. So yeah. So right away after our sessions, you can, of course, you can attend the exam for sure. Yeah, Kasi. So it is enough, like around 2 years of experience you can show after our sessions. Okay, so because we are seeing the core Linux. Okay, so that is a very important one. So many people would be right away going to a scripting or going to advanced level like automation and stuff, but they miss the basics, right? So if there is any, let's say, OS crashes or any issues in your server, you won't be in a position to approach that issue, right? So that is what the basics not only Linux, in any of the IT industry, any tool, let's say Jenkins or Git, so any tool, you must know the basics, right, in order to work it.
So I have a question. So if you are new and right after that, you feel like confident to go and pass your Red Hat exam and you got it, then you are looking for a job. So what are you going to put as experience, since these people always ask at least 2 years, 1 year, and all this
2
stuff?
years,
How are you gonna
okay.
do?
Okay, so experience, okay, so that is actually comes back to the resume building, right? So if you make your resume like you should make some points, like you done let's say user management and disk management and LVM, a lot of things actually you can put. Okay, so let me come back to
That will
this
cover it
one.
up.
Yeah, so literally you can put most of it, whatever we are doing here in this syllabus, right? So yeah, but experience you can't put, right? Only if you work in a company, you can put that experience. But still, if you put this one, and of course, if you've done the RHCSA exam and you have the certification, of course, they would prefer you rather than
Somebody who
like,
have experience.
yeah. So it is equivalent to the experience, but not an actual experience. You're getting right what I'm saying. So
Okay.
so because simply you can't put I'm 2 years experience just by completing the course, right? So you can't. So
Sorry, sir.
yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Just a quick, can we not use Logic Lab as a reference for the Linux, if you don't mind?
Sorry, Logic Labs as
a reference for like the work we've done to cover that 2 years. Can we use Logic Lab Tech?
Yeah, of course you can use that.
Okay, yes. I mean, okay.
So like you can give like 2 months, like they will even provide a completion of a certificate for the completion. So you can even put that in the certification section for sure. Yeah. So yeah. Still it is installing, and mine is a SSD, so yours would be the hard disk, so it will be even slow, so you must be patient for that to be installing. If it is stuck,
only Ubuntu only use Red Hat or Ubuntu Linux?
I like we are at the end of the day we are doing a session on RHCSA, right? So Red Hat is a must as of now, because if you use CentOS also it is fine. So is that RAM, right? So if you use CentOS also it is fine, because anyhow both are similar. So CentOS is owned by Red Hat. Okay, so you can either use CentOS also, no issues, but Ubuntu is a totally different one. So the commands also, yeah, commands also would be different. So in Ubuntu, you will be using apt update or apt commands, right? So here you will be using yum. So both are literally in different thing. So yeah, but you can use, if you already a CentOS user, you can of course use CentOS, because mostly it will be the same. Okay, so yeah.
Can I do EC2 instance launch by using Linux system is also okay?
Yeah, of course. EC2 instance. I'll be showing you tomorrow on that, Ram, okay? Because I'm not sure why billing it is having an issue with my billing. I'll be showing in all the 3 clouds if I can. I'll be tomorrow. We'll be seeing that. Okay, so how to install an instance and how the key pair works. So nowadays it is even easier in AWS, in all the 3 clouds basically. So yeah, I'll be showing you. Don't worry on that.
How many free sessions is available for this session? this course.
How many? Sorry.
3 sessions.
Free sessions. Okay, so tomorrow would be a free session, of course, and after that, if you paid, you will be continuing the sessions. Okay, so tomorrow also would be a demo class. So after that, you will be a new Zoom link will be provided to the only to the people who paid. Okay, so yeah.
Sir, good evening, sir. This one, you will give any projects like that we can put it in our resume?
Okay, that is a fair question. So projects, no. So it is a very straightforward course, actually, Ram, I think so. So yeah, so
Okay.
it is a very straightforward course. So there is like only, let's say I'm doing this question today, just for an example. Okay, so I'm just doing this question.
Okay.
Right away
Okay.
after my sessions, you can also practice that. That is just a 4 commands. This question would be.
Okay.
So
okay.
there won't be a project per se. So you can
This one
right
exam
away-
oriented, correct, you know?
yeah, exam. So right away, if you do the
okay.
certification, that would be well and good.
Okay,
I will be the
okay,
first
okay,
person
okay.
to be the most happiest if you've done the exam right away. So
Sure,
but
sure, sure. That is the thing.
yeah.
Only we also want that, you know. because,
Exactly,
when we
so-
are working that.
exactly. So Red Hat as a, especially RHCSA is the like the first thing to do. So after that, you can do
Okay.
a number of certifications like RHCE is there. So many certifications are there. But if you start with RHCSA, it is very good actually. Like you would be knowing the basics and yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have it.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah. So I hope it is installing. Okay, great. It is installed. So after install, it is like the installation is completed. You will be greeting with this screen. So right away, don't click user 1 and log in with that. Click the not listed one and type root. The same password I told, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. It would be. Okay, so yeah, wait for some time. So it is the initial, it is initializing, right? So first time, so it will take some time to load the graphics driver, everything. So this is a GUI. Okay, so there is a, one second. There are 2 types of interface, basically. Types of interfaces. So one is GUI, other one is CLI. So this is the base thing. GUI is a graphical user interface. CLI is command line interface. There is another one called as TUI, text-based user interface. Okay, so yeah. So this is a GUI. So why it is called as a GUI is too much interruption. I'm lost. Okay. So why we are using GUI rather than CLI right away? Because if some issues you're having which you can't figure it out, like let's say here right away you can go to the settings. Okay, so the settings you can go and you can change the network driver, or you can see in visual, right? Like the graphics is, you can see that, like let's say the network, if you want to add a new connection, you can right away do it in a GUI. But of course, we'll be using a CLI, right? So let me show you. So right away, you can go to activities, go to terminal. When you can, yeah. Okay, so now don't only use in this terminal. Okay, so that is the reason I provided you PuTTY, or you can use Kitty, this one. So it is a fork of PuTTY. Okay, so let me give you the IP. So this is the command you can use for fetching the IP. So you must do this only if you give that NAT, you would give this IP. So if you are missing that NAT to something, or your network driver is not connected, you won't be having this interface. So this is called as an interface. Okay, so yeah. this IP. So you need not worry about other IPs. Okay, so these are all virtual drivers or virtual interface, which is you won't use that basically. And this is a loopback address 127. Even in your personal machine, it would be there. Okay, so you need not worry about this one. So this interface is the one you must take, and active one basically. So yeah, just copy this IP and come to your, so where you find this software is, again, it would be in the resource section. Okay, resource, you can see this, right? Kitty-0.76 something. So yeah, you can, it is just a portable one. So there is no need of even installation. Okay, so it is a portable one. And the first thing to do is you can give the name for it. Logic lab. So why we are doing this is we are saving the session. So you need not type the IP every time, right? So right away, if you save it, anyhow, it is your personal laptop, right? So you can save it. So just press Control V, and before saving, you can make some changes. Okay. So what I basically make is the line of scroll back. Okay. So I will make this so much big number. Okay. So why? Because only this many lines it would be there by default. So if you're, let's say you're reviewing a log or any huge file, you can't scroll to a certain extent. So in that case, you can make a huge number here, and the appearance, if you want to change, you can. So I'll be giving the color as some only green. Okay. And the connection. So this is again an important one. Yeah, it will be in the steps is already, I will be providing that, Ashmita. So don't worry on that. Okay. So 240. So what is 240 basically? It is like every 4 minutes. Okay. So there would be a null packet sent to this session, so that the session will be like active forever. Okay. So that is what this 240 means. You can try any multiples of 4, but 240 is the sweet spot for me. I personally use that. Okay. So come to data. Here you can give the, so this is the advantage over Putty. Okay. So in Putty, you can not save your password. Okay. But in Kitty, you can save your password. So the password is 1234, right? So you can even bootstrap some commands. Let me give a command like uptime. Okay. So right away, after the boot of the server, it will launch or run this command. PowerShell is a Windows tool, Felix. It is not a Linux, right? Yeah, but you can use, yeah, I pressed escape accidentally. Sorry for that. 1 sec. Yeah, you can use Putty or Kitty, or you can use even the terminal one if you are using a terminal, right? You can even use this because SSH is integrated nowadays. See? But you need to mention your username, right? I'm accessing the root user, root @ that server. That's it. I logged into the server. So this is one way. If you don't want to install, let's say, again, you're on an enterprise laptop, you don't have access to Putty or something, you can use your command prompt or your PowerShell or anything. You can, of course, SSH is integrated nowadays, so you can use this. This is one of the easy way, but since on day-to-day basis, I'm used to this Putty screen, and it even has some of the benefits which PowerShell don't. Okay, so yeah, you can even have a log. So logging is there. So a lot of options are there. Okay, so you can even introduce a script for that. So yeah, let me set this again. 0, 255, 0, 240. Sorry, today's session is bit extended. So just, yeah, we'll give a command like uptime. So it will just give the uptime of the server. Okay, so if it is a GCP or something, you will be giving the key here. Okay, so private key or something. But since it is a local one, the key is not needed. So now if you click save, after doing all this only you should save. Okay, so you will be having this profile. If I double click this profile, right away, you will get this pop-up. So this is the SSH key, which it is asking whether we can allow this key or not. So if you done that, that's it. I'm using control and scroll wheel to zoom the session. Okay, so this is the CLI, this is the GUI. Okay, so that is the difference between this and TUI, right? I told TUI. So this is how TUI looks like. So there won't be a cursor, but you will be, it is kind of like a GUI, right? So you will be having text and all. And yeah, this is a TUI. The first thing after booting to your server, you need to change the host name. So there is a command for that. Okay, so hostname CTL, set hostname, and let me give it as Logic Labs for sure. Logic Labs dot. So you need to give a fully qualified domain name. So example.domain. So we'll be seeing a lot of things like what is this domain means in networking. So many things we'll be seeing, but as of now, I'm just setting it to the bare minimum. So yeah. Let me open that session again. So if you right click recent sessions, you can even pin this so that simply you can open it. So if you can see, the name is Logic Labs now. Yeah, classes for 1 hour, Salim. So it is already time, but yeah, so the today's agenda, it is done. Like we install the VMware, but I'll be sure, already shared the PDF. Okay, so try to follow this one. It is very straightforward. Okay, so that's it. Actually, if you just open that file, next, and that's it. It will be installed. If you are having any issues for that matter, like we will see how to install VMware again tomorrow, no problem. But yeah, tomorrow we will be doing this cloud. Okay, so all the 3 clouds, I will try to show you how to install that. And yeah, booting procedure we'll be seeing tomorrow for sure. Yeah. So any doubts till now? Most doubts already people asked, but yeah, sorry for extending the session. Okay, so if no doubts, I think we are done for the day. So I hope you guys, if you are paid, you can. Yeah, Salim,
Red Hat and Linux both are same or different?
it is same, Salim. So that is a very good question actually. So Linux is a general term, right?
Lots of days I was confused from these two words.
Is it okay? So Red Hat is a company. Okay, Red Hat, if I mention always Red Hat, means it is a separate company, which is a public company. Means Linux is a open tool. Linux is an open source, right? So no one can't no one tell like they own the Linux. So they have their own version of Linux. Okay, Red Hat has their own. So you told CentOS, right? So CentOS is also owned by Red Hat. See. Okay, so let me show you the Solaris one. So Solaris OS. So Solaris owned by Oracle. So yeah, like all these are based on Unix. So that is what yesterday I told, right? So Unix is kind of the base operating system, or the kernel would be in Unix. So every flavors of Unix is these Solaris or Linux. So many are there. IBM AX are there. So it is asking for payment for free account. Okay, so we'll be seeing that Prabhakar tomorrow. Okay, so don't worry on that cloud related. So I think, yeah, we can end the session for the day. So yeah, thanks all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.